This is my third time trying to record this, but I'm talking about pregnancy and ovulation because I watched Ellie and Jared. They have a YouTube channel. Their video. They were talking about. She had an appointment. They did a blood draw, and her levels were what they would want them to be for the 6 to 8 week mark. And it's probably because she's barely on the cusp of 6 weeks. She's probably closer to 4 or 5. Which means that the gender has barely even been decided. And it's because it depends on when you ovulate. Like, sure, they'll go from your last period, but your last period means nothing. It's all about when you ovulate. Like, with my son, we tried for 2 years to get pregnant to have him, and I tracked my cycle religiously, like very, very closely, because that's what I have to do. At 20, I had my daughter at 19, and it was a planned pregnancy. I know, like, a lot of people are like, whatever, but no, I wanted to have children young. I met my husband, we were planning our wedding, and I was like, let's have a baby. Like, I don't want to have a big wedding unless my children can be there too. I don't want to be old and Alzheimer'd and then have grandchildren that I don't even remember and barely recognize my own children. Like, I didn't want that to happen, given my family history. So I decided to have kids young. So we actually got pregnant a little sooner than we had anticipated because I had been on birth control for a few years. So it was supposed to take a while to conceive, to get a hang of my natural cycle. Ow, my eye really hurts. My contacts are being weird today. And it took less than a month. Like, I quit my birth control and then got pregnant within the following month. So that, it happened sooner than we had anticipated, but we did plan on being pregnant in the near future. So it was like, we scrambled a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. Anyway, I had to have an emergency C-section with her. So that meant that it was best that I wait to get pregnant again. So we waited 2 years so that everything was completely healed so I could try VBAC. Well, then it's still, we had our son 46 days after our daughter's 4th birthday. So it took a little bit. Well, I knew exactly when he was due before the doctors even did, because they went by my last period. And I said, no, this is his due date. And they're like, well, and I said, no, this is the due date. And sure enough, the farther the pregnancy got along, they're like, yep, you're right, that's the due date. And I was like, I know I'm right, because this is the day I ovulated, and I know that I couldn't have gotten pregnant another time, so this is when I conceived him. And they're like, okay. I knew what I was talking about. It was January 13th. I know what I'm doing. I'm making it my profession. That's the story for another time. Anyway, my point is that while Ellie and Jared, this isn't their first pregnancy, it might not be their last pregnancy, so they're a little more seasoned in that. Ellie has polycystic ovarian syndrome. And if you don't know what that is the simplest way to put it would just be that her testosterone levels are higher than you would want for optimal pregnancy, for growing children. It makes it a lot harder, and it also causes things like facial hair and just like excess body hair, because your testosterone's higher, so that's what testosterone does. And it also means weight gain and trouble losing weight. And luckily that Ellie hasn't had to struggle with that as much, because she's just naturally thin, which could also be a side effect of the testosterone, because you never know when hormones aren't exactly even. Well, so my point is that she could, I really do think that she's maybe 5 weeks along at most. And she just felt the pregnancy earlier on because she knew what she was looking out for. Oh, dog hair in my mouth. Thanks, dog. And as women, we know. Unless you don't. That's a story for another time. Teen pregnancy is high because of hormones. But when you get down to the breakdown of pregnancy, a woman's body does a lot to avoid becoming pregnant. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. Like, I have to throw this. It's for the dog. He really likes to play fetch. Anyway, your white blood cells will start attacking sperm cells and consuming them to prevent them from getting to the egg. That's why they say the strongest survives. And then sometimes you're like, that was the one that won. I know. Can you imagine all the other ones though? And even with that, if two sperm meet an egg at the same time, that doesn't equal twins. That equals a null and void. That pregnancy is not viable. And so what we have is that women actually get low-key pregnant more frequently than they realize. So pregnancy it's complicated, but it's also, it's a big responsibility, but it's a gift. I fully believe that it's a wonderful thing, because to give life is to have life. And you can give life in more than one way, more than just growing people. You can donate blood, you can donate your time, you can do good things out in the world. Like, I might rant a lot and I might be really angry sometimes, but at the end of the day, I just want what's best for the future of our planet, for the future of everyone's children. I just want what's best. And it really frustrates me when I feel like I'm the only one who's trying. And the problem is, like, I know quite a few things, and there's still a lot of things I don't know. But there are a lot of people who are absolutely sure they have it all figured out, and those people are the problem. Because you don't know everything. You don't know how anything's going to turn out. I mean, you can guess, you can witchcraft, voodoo, what have you. You can pray on it, you can meditate on it, you can do whatever means, but you never truly know how anything's going to work out. And so it's better to just be a good person and do good things and teach your kids good things so that they can help other kids learn good things. And that means that each and every single one of us needs to step up and be better than our parents, be better than our peers, be better. Even if everyone around you is the best they can be better. Push yourself for better. Be nice, but also remember that you're human, and to be a human is to have flaws, and it's okay to have flaws. Like, I am freakishly shy. I am very shy. But I can talk to people now. I didn't talk until I was 4, and then I didn't talk to strangers until I was 12. I was an eighth of the way through my life. I lived to be 100 years before I could talk to people. And that's, I mean, they're like, whatever, but no, I was that shy, I couldn't do it. I would break down in tears. I could not handle talking to people, and then, I have social anxiety, so it didn't get any better. But now, a way to counterbalance that is, rather than people think that I'm a bitch because my face, like, if I just leave it rest, I do look bitchy. I compliment everyone. Because it's a really fucking nice thing to do, and people really need compliments because not everybody's life is all rainbows and fucking butterflies. But also, when I compliment other people, it makes me feel a little bit better, which makes being around people a little bit easier. So it's kind of like my coping mechanism, and it's a really polite coping mechanism, and it's a really cool coping mechanism. And I think that if we all just take a minute to appreciate the beauty in everyone else, even if you look at somebody and they have the meanest look on their face and they are the rudest person you've ever met, give them a compliment. And they might not think you're genuine. They might think that you're weird, but there's nothing wrong with being weird. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, who's to say what really is weird? Because what is exactly normal? Nobody is specifically the same. Not even twins, identical twins. They have the same exact DNA and fingerprints. Or are their fingerprints the same? No, I think their fingerprints might be different. I can't remember. But I know their DNA is the same, which that's really fun because, so this is my favorite thing. If a chick sleeps with twins and happens to be ovulating, and they both aren't wearing protection, none of them are wearing protection, and she gets pregnant, DNA speaking, biologically speaking, it is indistinguishable who the actual father is. So anybody out there who's thinking about threesomes, don't do it with twins unless you're gonna wear condoms. Or if you're like married to one, I read the story. If you're married to a twin and you get their brother involved, have the one that's not your husband wear a condom. A little bit of foresight there. Be a little smarter than the average Joe. I need to do my eyebrows. I just did my face. And I like being not fuzzy. Like there's still some peach fuzzies there, but I trimmed it down. Don't judge me. Hairy women gotta do what they gotta do. Normally you don't find very pale women who are this hairy, but I'm the exception. I'm actually not. There's a bunch of really hairy women. All women are hairy. Shaving's not just for guys. Stop the gender weirdness. Dudes can wear makeup too. I actually like it when dudes wear makeup because I feel like the dudes who do wear makeup are more picky about it than women, so to speak. Like I know more makeup artists that are men or more and like more hairstylists that are men that are better at coloring and shading, and it's because of the way that our brains are naturally wired, which that's another fascinating topic. But yeah, if you want to get your hair done really nice, go to a male colorist because they are naturally ever so slightly colorblind. Fun facts. Fun facts. My double stroller. I need a new double stroller. I need a side-by-side jogger because right now it sits like this. Like one facing forward, one facing back. And while that's, I mean, it's fun and all, and it's really nice for my core, I need a double stroller where they're both side by side, so it's easier for me to move, so I can actually jog and stuff. Because, I mean, I'm not quite there yet, but I like to go for walks and be mobile. And it's not easy with a stroller that's oblong and hard on curves and starts to go sideways on a road that's not straight. When you live in a town that used to be a swamp. I look sickly. I'm going out with some friends tonight. No, this weekend. Saturday. I wish it was Saturday. I like going out. Anyway, we're going out, and I decided that I'm gonna do full face makeup because I went to Guardians of the Galaxy with my husband the other day and did full face makeup, and I actually was really happy with the way it turned out. But I'm gonna do it again for Saturday, and I'm gonna test it out because we left I did my makeup. I started at 8. No, I started at 7. It took me 45 minutes to do it start to finish. And then we left and we got home at like 1. So I had makeup on from, we'll just say 8. 5 hours. And it didn't look too bad. But like, you could definitely tell that it was starting to break down. And like, I think the worst part was wanting to itch my fucking face and not being able to itch my face. Like, I had like an itch here. And I couldn't, so I was like with my nails, and it was just a pain in the ass. You know, like when you get a weave and you have to pat it, you can't scratch. You gotta pat. I still do that with my hair, even though I don't have a weave. Like if I have an itch, just so I don't, cause I'll dig my nails into my scalp, scratching. I'm a scratcher. If I got an itch, I gotta scratch it. So yeah, it was very frustrating having makeup on, not being able to scratch my face. So when I got with my friends, I'm going to be out for at least 5 hours again, and I want to see how well it holds up in the club scene with sweaty humans everywhere. We walk like at least a mile because we never stay in one place. My dear friend, she's just as shy as I am, and we compensate for it in fun ways. Like, she's really outgoing outwardly when we go out. But like if we're not around a whole group of people, you can see that she's actually really shy. It's just easier for her to, and that's a thing that I do too. It's just easier to put on a facade of being outgoing than it is to be like, I haven't brushed my teeth yet today. Don't tell anybody. So yeah, I recorded this video like 3 times. I had some funny points in the first couple of them, and I accidentally shut it down and didn't get to finish it. Because I'm not a professional. And I can't wait to look back at these in a couple of years. It's going to be real fun. Nobody else is ever going to watch them because YouTube is a tough place to be. So many critics. I can just imagine what people would say about me. Like, what are you going to say that I haven't already said to myself? Good luck.